For this wet paper exercise, we're going to look at two different salvaging techniques for paper documents. The first of which is going to be a framed item, and the second will be a magazine. So in this scenario, a pipe has burst at a collection center, causing minimal water damage, but enough to threaten the documents. So we're going to submerge them right in here for just a small amount of time to get them submerged and soaked. Just like that. In this scenario, we've had enough time to catch the documents before they were fully submerged in water. So we're not going to keep them in for too long. So we're going to go ahead and lay these out, very carefully removing magazine. You can see that we're placing it on a vinyl tablecloth. This is just one that was on hand from a Super Bowl party. So I'm just going to go ahead very quickly and place the magazine under some dry paper towel so we can have that start going. The first one that we're going to work on is this framed item. You can see that during the move, the frame was cracked. So the National Archives recommends removing the backing of a wet frame. And so I have this tool that I've used for removing staples from documents, which I thought would be a gentle way to remove these brackets or lift them up. So I'm gonna go ahead and start that as carefully as I can. And once I remove this, we're gonna see if the document inside the frame is sticking to the glass or not, and that will determine the next step. The backing feels like some form of cardboard. You can see that it is not, it is sticking a little bit to the frame. We're gonna see if we can get that off really gently without tearing the picture. A little bit hard to do with one hand. All right, that did slide off. So we're gonna go ahead and remove that glass from it very carefully. We're gonna get our paper towel ready. Just lifting very gently the photo onto the dry paper towel. Just gonna grab another piece and very gently blot, barely touching it. Don't want it peeling up at all. So we have that drying. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the frame up here to let that dry as well on paper towel. I'm sorry, the glass from the frame. Just in case maybe it's an antique and we want to be able to salvage it. We're also moving that frame there. So we have that drying. We're able to control the temperature in this room. So we have an overhead fan and a fan from here. The National Archives recommends turning on a fan and keeping it parallel to the document. So I'm just going to turn it on one. And again, keeping it parallel, not pointing directly at it, just to get the air circulating so there's a minimal risk of mold. For the magazine, this is going to require interleaving. I'm going to gently try to, you can already see that there's some peeling at the corners here, which is going to make it difficult for opening just because it's so fragile right now. This is also very difficult to do with one hand and recording. So we're just going to try to see which page we can start opening and kind of move from there. These are each going to require dry paper towel interleaving in each one. Just place that like that. Get another sheet here. I think it might be best to move from this direction. You can already see that there's some tearing, mostly because I have my document resting on the edge like that, and it needs to be completely flat, so making sure that that is on there safely. There is quite a lot of sticking. The weight of the water is making it difficult to turn pages. I think my strategy, and this one's already fallen off of the staples, so we're gonna try our best to put some interleaving there. and try to do these for each of the pages as carefully as possible just to salvage what we can. I'm going to assume that this is possibly a copy, so it wouldn't be an original that we would have to worry about trying to get a conservator in for. So I would just take my time putting interleaving in all of these pages, like so. And also letting that air dry. And I would just keep performing this task as much as I can, breaking up those pages as carefully as possible. And kind of letting the air circulation in the room and the temperature controlled space kind of do the work for us right there. Just making sure this is all safe. And just letting these air dry again on the water resistant tablecloth with the air circulating. If I needed to, I could use a mask if I thought there was possibly a risk to health in terms of like mold or maybe chemicals coming off of documents. Some of the other things that we could use after these are drying, I would try to transfer them into a archival box. An acid-free Hollinger would be best. Acid-free folders with maybe some interleaving, also acid-free, just to ensure that these are remaining upright and not warping and that they're safe in that sort of container.